What's up, gamers? Rainy Potato here with a guide to the Act 3 boss, Focusfault. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to subscribe. I post new videos every day. There are two phases to this fight. The first phase, you face 4 eye minions, with the main mechanic being their observe ability, which will apply a unique token to each hero, which will allow them to be targeted once you reach phase 2 of the fight. This first phase is not winnable, as in you cannot fully kill the eyes to advance, and the purpose of this phase is to force the unique tokens onto 1 or 2 tank heroes. Each eye has 3 phases of growth, starting with 6 HP to 8 HP and finally 12 HP. The eyes grow whenever they attack, and once all 4 eyes reach full size, phase 2 of this fight begins. It's important to note that the eyes can skip growth stages and go from baby to full grown in one attack, though not until round 3. If you reduce an eye's HP to 0, they will degrowth 1 stage. If zeroed on the first stage, they die for a turn, and the observe token they planted will disappear. This is how you rearrange the observed tokens. You can check which hero is being observed by which eye by either matching the unique symbol or actually hovering the observed token on your hero. At the start of the fight, the eyes will try to mark all of your heroes. The eyes will always try to mark the hero in the corresponding rank, i.e. rank 1 to rank 1, rank 2 to rank 2, etc. The only way to counter the mark is either with blind or with guard. Taunt and stealth do not work at redirecting the observed token. Outside of this, the strategy is to selectively kill the eyes and use movement to put your tank, who you want the scene tokens on, in the correct position. This fight is much easier if you have 2 tanks who are okay with taking big nukes. This can be 2 of the 3 big HP tanks, Hellion, Leper, Man-at-Arms, or a hero who regularly generates dodge if you're feeling risky, such as a Grave Robber, or a hero like Flagellant who has higher DBR and self-heals. The eyes themselves do average damage and stress, scaling as they grow, so having ways to counteract this is crucial, as this fight could last many rounds trying to force the tokens on the correct hero. It is, however, crucial that you finish this first phase with all the observed tokens on 1 or 2 tanks, and no observed tokens on your critical damage dealers. This makes having a diverse skill set that can consistently reach all 4 enemy ranks crucial. Let's move on to the actual boss, Phase 2, the Focusfault. This boss has 250 HP, above average resist profile, and no death blow resist. It has only 3 different skills and 2 actions per round. Its main attack, Limerence, can only target heroes with the observed token on them. It will always hit observed targets, regardless of taunt or stealth. This attack also ignores blind, although it can be dodged. This attack is high damage, dealing a base 16 damage, with an additional 25% damage boost for each scene token on your heroes, so 32 damage if a hero has all 4 observed tokens. The skill also has a high crit rate, which will deal an additional 50% damage, and will also apply a Vaughn token. In addition, just like ordained enemies in this act, the Fault will steal some of a hero's tokens on crit, so in general I try not to put strength or crit on heroes being observed if I can help it. In addition to this damage, each hit of Limerence will debuff your hero's healing received by 25% until eventually you cannot heal at all, though this debuff can be resisted. It will also continuously stack Horror as a counter to stacking infinite HP and block, so some way to resolve stress is important. The Fault's second ability is Suppress, which can be used if you have at least 2 heroes with a combo token, and will deal Vaughn, Weak, Blind, and even Stun. Your heroes gain combo tokens if they crit the Focusfault, though heroes with scene tokens cannot gain combo. The Fault's final move is called Behold, which it uses once all heroes with observed tokens are killed, to apply new observed tokens to the remaining heroes. This phase is essentially a pure DPS race that's decided almost entirely by your in and Phase 1 setup. All 3 tank classes have their use in this fight, but my preference is Man-at-Arms, utilizing any of his paths, but my preference is Vanguard for the extra HP. Defend Plus is the most important ability in this fight, necessary to protect allies from being seen, and also generating Block Plus tokens to counter the Fault's damage. Stand Fast Plus is also heavily recommended, as it continuously generates Block Plus tokens to almost entirely nullify the Fault's attacks. Bolster Plus also generates a Block Plus token in addition to removing stress to stave off a meltdown. Hulyun's Carcass Path is pretty good specifically for this fight, although that path receives no HP boost and does not generate Block Plus, only the much weaker Block Minus. Carcass is also completely terrible at the rest of the game, so unfortunately I can only recommend it as a meme. Yop does generate crucial weak tokens, and Revelry keeps her stress low, along with her stress heal on crit. Still, I'd rather bring Ravager and use her as a pure DPS instead. Leper is strong, usually as a poet path to boost his self-heal to counter the healing debuff. You generally want Intimidate to apply weak and, of course, Withstand to generate block. Monarch is also a consideration here as he gets a crucial HP boost and can apply Vol to help damage race the Fault. The Monarch is a dumb meme the rest of the run. As far as what kind of DPS works against the boss, direct damage is good but can be scary if the Fault continuously steals your block tokens. Warlock Occultist with Burning Stars is my top DPS in consideration, since that skill ignores block, which the Fault is likely to generate with its token stealing crits. The fact that the Fault generates block also gives a boost to dot-based DPS, but with 40 resist across the board, you're going to want to run either dot application paths like Alchemist or Arsonist, or pick up some application trinkets. With 2 actions around, DOTs are relatively strong, and since the boss doesn't have Death Blow, a skill such as Cause of Death that can instantly convert dots to direct damage is actually quite strong here. Let's move on to item prioritization. There are a couple high priority combat items I always want to hoard for the final boss. Healing salves are still extremely strong even with the healing debuff, just in keeping your tanks off death's door for a turn or topping them up in phase 1. Laudanum is very strong in removing the horror applied by the boss. Mineral Spring Water is quite strong stress removal, although it loses heating power almost immediately with the debuff. Holy Water is a secondary consideration for your DPS characters to stop them from being nuked with Suppress. Even more important than combat items, in my opinion, is in-items. The absolute number 1 in-item I recommend you hoard for all runs for this boss are Restorative Herbs. These increase your traveling heal, so you can come into the boss healthier, and most importantly, increase your healing received in combat. These are a relatively common item found at many provisioners and hoarders once unlocked. You can never have enough of these, and they can completely negate the healing debuff against the boss with a sufficient supply. Less important but still acceptable purchases are of course things like the Speed Bag or Armor Repair Kit, which can help generate free sustain tokens. You'll also want some Stimulating Poultices or another form of speed generation, because the eye stalks have 12 base speed, and you want your tank to go early in round 1 to get the guard up immediately. A good tactic here is to put speed on Virtuoso Jester and use Encore on your tank for this task. And like against all act bosses, Nightshade Concoction is also great to restore your death blow resist. Overall, once you understand the mechanic, this is a quite straightforward boss battle that is won far before you actually reach the Focusfault. Select a powerful tank, surround them with DPS, and hoard strategic items for the mountain. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more Darkest Dungeon 2 content. I post new videos every day. And join my Patreon or become a YouTube member for early access to my upcoming videos.